The exams are done. You cleared 12th grade. You qualified for NEET. But the cutoff for a government medical seat just slipped out of reach. That leaves a choice: pay over 50 lakhs for a private college or forfeit a year to retake the exam. Medicine abroad solves the financial equation, but introduces new risks. The market is unregulated and exploited by predatory consultants. A 6-year degree represents a massive investment of time. If you graduate from the wrong institution, that degree is legally void in India, effectively erasing your entire medical career before it begins. This is a defensive guide to the foreign medical market, designed to ensure your degree remains legally valid for practice back home. Foreign medical universities will often grant you admission based entirely on your high school science marks. They make the entry process look remarkably frictionless. But Indian regulations do not care about a foreign university's entry requirements. The National Medical Commission insists that qualifying the NEET exam is strictly mandatory before you board a flight out of the country. Indian medical entrance regulations are fiercely guarded. The government enforces these standards with zero exceptions, historically facing intense public pressure to maintain rigid entry barriers. Skip the NEET qualification step and the consequences are permanent. You can graduate top of your class abroad, but you will be legally barred from practicing medicine in an Indian hospital. Choosing a country or a college comes later. Your very first defensive maneuver is securing your domestic regulatory compliance. When families finally start looking at universities, they usually filter their options based entirely on the lowest advertised tuition fee. Instead, you need to run every prospective university through an objective vetting scorecard. First, the legal baseline. The university must be explicitly approved by the NMC and listed by the World Health Organization. Next, the daily logistics. The medium of instruction has to be strictly 100% English. And for physical endurance over 6 years, reliable Indian food facilities need to be available on campus. Finally, check the university's historical pass rate for the Foreign Medical Graduates Examination, or NEXT. If their alumni can't pass the Indian licensing exam, the degree holds zero practical value. Once you apply this scorecard, you can start looking at locations. Popular destinations like Russia have highly established medical programs, but they demand you endure extreme freezing climates for over half a decade. Contrast that with Central Asian countries like Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan, or Eastern European options like Georgia. These regions offer very different cultural environments and often different price points. But whether the campus is sitting in snowy Moscow or sunny Tbilisi, the academic metrics on your scorecard do not change. Any institution offering a massive upfront discount while failing these basic checks is simply selling you a degree with no future. Securing a seat requires navigating a strict administrative pipeline. Because foreign universities and embassies will not chase you for missing papers, you must manage this process with total self-reliance. This flowchart shows the required sequence.
It starts with documentation. You need perfectly aligned marks, your NEET scorecard, and a valid passport. You are responsible for ensuring every date and spelling matches across these files. Then comes the university verification phase. You upload the application, and if accepted, you receive an offer letter. But keep in mind, this is only a provisional first step. The real friction happens during the student visa phase. This demands your official admission letter, heavily verified apostilled documents, and rigorous medical tests. You have to track these requirements independently to avoid delays. Only after the visa is stamped do you move to the final logistics: booking flights, arranging foreign exchange, and securing your university joining instructions. This sequence has no margin for error. A single missing medical certificate or a delayed passport application is enough to derail your entire academic year. To bypass this bureaucratic headache, families almost always hire local educational agents. This is where you encounter the highest risk of fraud. The most common tactic is the bait and switch. Agents will make empty promises of easy exam pass rates or bury massive surcharges in the paperwork, only revealing the true cost once you are already in a foreign country. To protect yourself, you must act as an independent auditor. Visit the consultant's actual office and demand direct contact details for their past students to hear their unedited experiences. Second, never accept a verbal promise. Demand a comprehensive written fee structure that locks in tuition, hostel, and visa costs for all 6 years of your degree. Finally,
take the exact university they are pitching and run it straight through the scorecard we built earlier. Avoiding extortion requires the student and parent to trust nothing an agent says unless they can independently verify it in writing. We need to dispel the myth that studying medicine abroad is a relaxed backup plan for students who couldn't handle the Indian system. The reality on these campuses is intense. You're diving into rigorous medical training, often in a second language environment, where the academic stakes are incredibly high from day one. Let's look at a framework to determine exactly who should take this path. This chart maps personal adaptability and independence against budget constraints. The ideal candidate sits right here. Because you've seen how you must independently manage bureaucratic minefields and audit your own consultants, this path requires high self-reliance to succeed. If you are looking for an easy way out, or if you are not prepared to personally vet every document an agent claim, you are likely to be overwhelmed by the systemic friction. Do not let the allure of a low upfront fee blind you to the academic and regulatory hurdles waiting on the other side of the border. If you are serious about this, use the vetting scorecard we covered today. Audit your shortlisted universities and consultants immediately. An MBBS Abroad offers a clear path to saving millions in tuition. To make it work, you must replace that financial cost with extreme vigilance and a strict adherence to Indian medical regulations.